Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for tuning in to the Band of Bros channel, where we're always taking a look at the newest tips and tricks in Modern Warfare and Warzone mode. Today, we're going to be taking a look at everything that you guys need to know with the audio mix and the audio settings in Warzone. All right, this video will teach you what is the best audio to hear footsteps, or if you want to listen to gunshots louder, all those, and how exactly does audio and footstep work with windows and doors. All that thing will be covered in today's video. If you guys do enjoy the content you're watching, please remember to like and subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It deeply helps me out a lot, because if you guys didn't know, 91% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed yet. So if you do, it will definitely help me out a lot. And with that being said, let's jump right into this video. Alright, so first off, let's go into the audio mix, which we've got already right here. And just so you guys know, this is kind of personal preferences, right? So I'm going to explain to you each and every one of these, what do these ones do? But again, at the end of the day, it's going to be personal preference. So don't take what somebody tells you, you know, this one's the best and use this one. Because it depends on the headphones, it depends where you're playing, and it depends what specific things you want to hear. Alright, so let's talk about the first thing. So let's talk about boost, which is kind of like the ones that a lot of people certainly use. So we got boost in this one. Boost is basically the standard option, and it essentially serves as the game de facto bass booster setting. So this means that if you want kind of like just general more boost and more bass in your game, this is the one that you're going to use. All right, it basically just bumps up everything, every single audio setting in the game. Now, if you want the punch of the higher frequency sounds, like the flashbangs or the ringing of the flashbang, or, you know, lower sounding frequencies, that is going to be boost high. Honestly, I tried this one and I didn't like it at all, because certain guns and certain high frequencies just sound like really, really loud. I mean, the ringing of the flashbang is multiplied by 1,000,000. So you don't only get flashbang in the game, you get flashbang in real life. So definitely, this is one that I don't suggest choosing. Now, this is one of the good ones that a lot of people tend to use, the boost low. Now, this is if you want more power in the explosions or the 7.62 bullet sounds, select boost low. This one will also help with the footsteps. All these are lower frequency sounding things, all right? So again, this one enhances the low frequencies. Again, this one's very good, because if they throw flashbangs in high frequencies, obviously those ones won't sound as loud. So again, if you're not the kind of person that you really don't care that much about audio mixing, and you just want like a simple, good audio that is gonna get you through the game and you can play good, the balanced mix is gonna be midnight mode. All right, midnight mode actually is designed for players that are playing the game, as it suggests, late at night, and who are trying not to wake their roommates or their parents or anybody, right? You just don't want these loud things going all over the place. So what this basically does, it actually equalizes the frequencies of the game and then just tunes them down a little bit. That means that the explosions won't blow your ear out, but you will still be able to hear them. So this is kind of like the best mix for everybody. It equalizes everything and then just tones them down a notch. So again, this one might be good if, again, this is just the best general setting. Now, let's talk about if you're using a headset with surround sound or a home theater setup. You got this sick TV with your home theater setup, and you want to know which one is the best one. So select home theater for this one, the one that we got right here. This audio mix is for those systems of moderate dynamic range that can handle a punchier bullet sound and a more explosive sounding explosion. Basically, what this means, this will give you richer sounds while firing or while explosions are going off. That is basically what this one will mean. This one is recommended for people that have 3.1 and 5.1 surround sound settings. Now, if you're into the higher quality surround sound settings, let's say if you got an upscale headset or a better home theater setup that uses 7.1 surround, then go ahead and use the dynamic home theater. Dynamic home theater is the same as home theater, but it is for the ones that have 7.1 surround sound or above. So you got one of those, go ahead and select yourself the dynamic home theater. If you want, again, that richer, the punchier shots, the punchier explosions, everything, this is the one that you're going to select. Now, the final audio mix, which is studio reference, is actually for players with top tier audio setups. Now, this one's we're talking about, you know, the Dolby Atmos sound projection and the 3D sound mapping. I don't know if you guys have seen those headphones that have 3D sound mapping, which basically means that if I got my headphones on and I'm looking at the screen, and if I turn my head, if I tilt it to the left, I'm gonna hear everything as if I was actually looking away from battle. So if I turn my head to the left and my right headphone is looking at the screen, that is the headphone that will receive the sound. That is basically what 3D mapping means. So if you got the pimpest of the pimpest, you know, the 7.1 Dolby 3D mapping, and you want the best of the best, then go ahead. And if you want to utilize those settings, use these studio references. As you guys can see, when I switch it around here, I mean, I can hear it on my headphones, and it kind of does switch it out a little bit. So just, again, just play around with it. So if you want to hear more footsteps and the bullets and the explosions, go ahead and select boost low. If you're a crazy person and you want to get flashbang in real life, go ahead and select boost high. If you want just punch your everything, select boost. If you want everything equalized and you know everything all good, select midnight. If you got a good 7.1 surround sound, select dynamic. And if you got the best of the best shit, select studio reference. Now let's jump into the rest of the things right here. As well, if you guys didn't know, you can also kind of you got an audio test actually, which I'm playing right now. Which is actually pretty unique, so you can kind of play around with the sounds. I do have my testing partner in the outside because you're gonna hear those volumes a lot better. But on the top left, you guys can see, you can play the audio test, and it will it will actually tell you what you got. Let me just select this one right here. There we go. So master volume, again, this was pretty standard. It adjusts the global volume of the game. So if you turn it down or if you turn it up, everything in the game will go up and down. The voices, the music, the gunshots, everything will go down in this one. So usually with this one, I've got it at 100, and then these other ones are the ones that I switch. The in-game music, I mean, usually people would switch this one down, just kind of like the music that you get in the main menu, or just those loud sounds that you get all of a sudden with music. Anything that related with music, again, is going to be this one. So I usually bump this one down. I mean, I got a 20, 30. Usually bump this one down if you want the other sounds more prominent. Then the dialogue volume, you can turn this one down a bit, but you don't want it that low. This is everything that that your guy says, you know, enemy UAV or enemy nuke incoming, or also the dialogues that people say in the game. That's why you don't want to turn it all the way down, because this is also how you hear when you hear what's it called, when they say enemy dropping in, you know, when the guy's coming in above you and they call that out. So that's why you don't want to bring it all the way down, because there's some certain things that are important. So you still want to hear when enemies got UAVs and stuff like that. So yeah, just don't bring it all the way down. And then the effects volume, this is going to be the most important one. A lot of people have that misconception on what is actually effects volume and what is the difference. So we're going to do some testing right now, just so you guys can actually see what effects volume means. So effects volume encompasses everything from bullet shots, everything from footsteps, all those things, and even the retching. I don't know if you guys can hear it sometimes. I'm going to mute myself. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it's kind of like the retching of the buildings, and the buildings are moving, and that also comes into play with the effects volume. So we're gonna do the footstep test right now, and my friend, he's just gonna run around in circles around me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my effects volume from up to low, and I'm not gonna speak so you guys can hear it. All right, so let's go ahead and start it now. All right, there we go. Something really interesting that you guys may note here. Once I got the effects volume at 2, I got it at 2. Something that you guys can see is if you got the effects volume, so obviously you can definitely see that effects volume does affect the footsteps, is that if I put it almost all the way to the down, you cannot hear the footsteps, but you can hear the player breathing. You could hear him go. So sometimes, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, definitely effects volume, as you guys saw, really, I mean, from 100 to 50, there wasn't really that major difference. As you guys can see, it's almost exactly the same. But once you start going all the way down, then definitely you can start hearing some things. Also, effects volume is when people are putting plates around them, so just do be aware of that. Now let's go ahead and test the bullet sound. So my friend is going to keep shooting at me, single shot. He's going to shoot beside me, and I'm going to go and turn the effects volume down. So go ahead, 3, 2, 1, start. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys can see, again, affecting the bullet sound pretty significantly. Usually, it doesn't start going down until, you know, like again, less than 50. But I just wanted to show you guys this because a lot of people have the misconception on what exactly is effects volume, what exactly is master volume. So the two most important things is, if you can, again, put that master volume all the way up to 100 and the effects volume all the way up to 100. Those are the most important things to have. Now, also a little tip for you guys is with the hit marker sounds, I actually think that the classic ones are easier to hear than the Modern Warfare. The Modern Warfare sounds sound a little bit muffled in my opinion, and the classic ones have a little bit of a higher frequency. So let me show you right here. Let me put it into Modern Warfare, and I'm going to shoot him in the foot right now. As you guys can see, it's more of a lower frequency boosting sound. Now, as we go ahead and switch it to classic, there we go. As you guys can see, it's kind of like the same, but it has that extra at the end, which I think definitely helps you out significantly. Let me show you that again. As you guys, it has that extra at the end, which it for me, it made it a lot easier to hear my my hit markers. Definitely, again, sometimes if you're in the battle and you're taking all these shots and you're doing a lot of things, that audio cue can definitely help you out a little bit to know that you are hitting your shots. So as far as that one goes, go ahead and select the classic hit marker sound. Now let's go into one of the final things, the voice chat effect, which actually does change a little bit. So if you basically want the best and the clearest and the loudest sound, go ahead and select no effect. As you guys can see there, it says default voice chat, no additional effects or EQ adjustment. Stealth comms was the one I usually ran with, and I'll tell you why. What stealth comm does, it sounds a little bit more staticky, but it kind of lowers down the volume of your teammates, so you don't hear it as loud as the game. So sometimes I like doing this because some of my teammates are just insanely loud and they honestly just say a bunch of dumb shit all the time. So if you got those kind of teammates that just say a bunch of nonsense and you want to get a little bit more immersed in the game, you know, feel a little bit better, then stealth comms is definitely something that you should consider. And then the classic chatter, my friend told me it is kind of the same, but again, not as loud as the effect volume. So again, there we have it right here. If you guys want the general loudest sounding one, go ahead and select the no effect one. And then if you want a more staticky, more immersed, and you can't hear your teammates that much, that just yap all day long, go ahead and select these stealth comms as well. And that is basically it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Oh yeah, something as well that you guys didn't know, at the bottom here you got the war track. So if you are as you guys can see, enabled, you will hear the driver's war track when you're a passenger. So basically, if he's got like those loud rock and roll songs that everybody's got on their car, if you don't want to hear it, go ahead and come down here and then just hit disabled right here. But I have it enabled because I don't know, I like it. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you guys do have any other questions or comments about audio that I didn't cover in this video, let me know down below. And yeah, let me know what your preference is in the audio settings. Do you use boost high, boost low? Again, remember, this is a personal preference and depending on the headphone that you have and on the stereo system that you have. But again, thank you for tuning in. This was Banner Bros and my friend hello here. Peace out, everybody. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.